Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavad-Gita Satsang. Let us continue our contemplation of the Bhagavad-Gita shlokas from the 5th chapter, Karma Sanyasa Yoga. Currently, we are contemplating shloka 1.4 from 5th chapter, 5.14. And in the shloka, Sri Krishna says, neither the sense of doership nor the nature of actions come from God, nor does He create the fruits of actions. All this is by the modes of material nature, the gunas. And in our last session, we reflected on, we have this notion, God is omnipresent. In fact, here, the Prabhu is like, someone who is prajvalate, buhu. In all that exists, the one who is shining. That is the way this idea of the word God is. Though we have an idea called God, Vedanta defines it very clearly. In Bhagavad Gita and in other places, they define very precisely. So the one who is radiant in everything. So the one who is radiant in everything is not the cause of any of the doing or the actions or the fruits. So we reflected, when God is omnipresent, how come the gunas are not gift from God? So we reflected on that in our last session. So now we can then go to the next set of questions that we have formulated. Then who is really enacting? Who is really enacting? Then what is this notion that we carry as God? Who's God? And I seem to have a sense of doing still. How can I overcome? So like that are the next two questions. So, and also the other two questions we have are, can a human really control the gunas? And can I truly elevate myself above these gunas? Is there any method? And the last question that we have formulated is Bhagavad Gita only for humans, or is it also for other non-humans, what we call as other creatures? So these are the remaining questions related to this particular shloka. So we can begin from who's enacting. And as you are contemplating, depending upon your contemplation, if you need to elaborate on the other questions, please feel free to do so. Who would like to begin first? Shilpaji, would you like to begin?
Okay, Vijayji. So for this question, who is enacting? I think in one of the initial slokas, Bhagavad Gita says, karma sannyasa is no, karma yoga is of course karma sannyasa, karma yoga are same, but through karma yoga you do, I mean, you enact, you do the actions, but ultimately renouncing from renounce from doing all of these actions itself becomes karma sannyasa. But at least to start with, it has to start by doing actions. So I relate to this question, who is enacting is the one who is doing actions.
And who is that according to you?
According to me, I actually I do not know, but I do not know whether I'm right or not. But according to me, it is uh, uh, our body and mind who is responsible to enact. But how consciously you enact we will reach the uh, yoga sannyasa, is what I interpret.
So the enaction is through the body and the mind.
Yeah.
Who is guiding the body and the mind? Or are they acting by themselves?
um, that is from, I mean, at least in Bhagavad Gita it says it is from the material actions and senses, or the very nature of us guides it, is what Bhagavad Gita says. That is what I understand. So it is not something driven by, let's say, if, let's say, God, we consider God is to be the Almighty. If at all he or she is guiding us, then everything happens smoothly, right? So but here I look at it as it is self driven. And when I say self, that is something which I'm associating to my physical body mind, uh, integrated with the nature of ourselves, with the material senses around us. That is what I refer to as uh, who is enacting that who is that piece I'm referring to.
So right now you are speaking. Who is speaking, Ji?
um, I'm speaking, but with the consciousness I'm speaking, I assume. I means my body, uh, where it is helping through senses to speak through my mouth, um, my mind which is helping me to think and speak.
So right now the one who's guiding is you. Is it yes or no?
uh, at least Bhagavad Gita says I feel it is yes, but internally I feel I don't know.
Okay. So can you clarify what is your view of what is Bhagavad Gita saying?
Bhagavad Gita is saying whatever the actions you do, whether you are a doer, what actions to perform is not uh, guided by God, is
Hmm.
what I understand from this one of the slokas. So when when the shloka says that, means, so though I am saying I am doing whatever the deeds I am doing, speaking, talking, shouting, everything, it is because of my gunas which are influenced or interfered with the material senses. So that is what I understand, Vijayji.
Hmm. So right now, just reflect on your own speech. You're speaking, and there are certain choices of words you're making, certain choices of sentences you're making. There's a certain order and intent with which these words and sounds are appearing. Yes.
Yes.
So, and you're conscious of what is that you want to say and how you want to say,
Yeah.
and you're guiding. Is it yes or no?
Guiding means
So this
what
is
I have to
you
speak.
have a feeling, okay, this is the next word I want to say. This is, and maybe other words are coming, but you're
Hmm.
saying, no, I will use this word. Maybe other sentences are coming. You'll say, no, maybe I will use this sentence. Maybe other intents are coming. Okay, what is the main idea? What is the main intent of what I want to speak? So, okay, let me choose this. So like that, there is a choice making happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're quite aware of all this, is it not?
Yes.
And so, is it not you who is doing all that?
uh, yes, it is me who is doing all that based on the situation, based on the thoughts which are rising uh, in my mind. I'm doing all this. Yes.
So, who is enacting then?
Again, me only. uh, with
So then,
with hmm,
so you are enacting,
yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Who are you who is enacting?
um, um, I am one of the participants in this contemplation.
Correct. That is correct. That is as far as the group is concerned.
Yes.
But who are you who is enacting?
Like I said, my body, I feel my body and my mind with the situation.
So this whole wholesomeness, whatever you call as the body, mind, we may divide it into parts.
Yeah.
This whole is what you feel as you.
Yes.
So this whole is who is enacting.
Yes.
Okay. Then when Sri Krishna says God is not the one who is doing, then who is God in this equation, the way you are expressing?
In this way, I am saying I am not God.
Hmm.
I'm still talking about Dvaita.
Hmm.
Uh, at this situation, I am not God.
Hmm.
But ultimately, I'm also internally thinking is
Hmm.
once we do it very consciously, in a do good deeds, bring the best, I think then I get united to God. So in that case, when I unite with God, that union becomes oneness. So who is enacting that in that situation would be different from the current situation when I'm answering to this question, being me separated from God.
Okay. In this sense of separation, in right now, when you're expressing, I feel I'm separated. Who is God for the one who is expressing I'm separated? The one who is saying I'm separated, you. For
Huh.
you, who is God?
For me, the definition of God is uh, who always does show the right path, right deeds, right things, right thoughts. So I always consider that as a absolute positivity. I consider God as that because now
Right
I'm
now, you're expressing right thoughts. Right now, you are speaking right words.
yeah, because of the situation I'm speaking. But when um, I mean when okay, maybe I'll just put it in different words. So because we are contemplating, I am trying to find out and relate to this question who is enacting. But when I try to do the things, for example, maybe I shout at my daughter, or I scold something, or I do something mistake, right? So that time, definitely unconsciously, I feel I do it unconsciously, but I can't claim that because um, I'm doing everything right and God is influencing me. I mean, I still feel I should reach that state. That is why I'm bringing that separation to my answer, Vijayji.
Okay. So now, when you're consciously speaking, are you saying that because when you're consciously speaking, right words, right actions are coming out, you're one with God, but when you're unconscious, you get separated. Is that what you are implying through
Yeah,
that?
when I say unconscious, maybe little difference in my wordings. When my emotions over empower me, sometimes though I'm conscious, I shout. So now I'm not in that state of mind because of the situation. I feel I'm separated. I mean, uh,
So
I'm still, I feel
right
I'm
now,
separated.
as you're expressing yourself in this contemplation, do you feel you are expressing consciously or unconsciously?
I'm expressing consciously, but that consciousness, irrespective of the situation, irrespective of any state, if it retains, then I feel that I am united to God. But until then, I myself do not define myself that I am united to God, even now, because at this moment I'm doing consciously. I think it becomes uh, I mean the very purpose kills when I say that I'm united to God just by doing small things as part of contemplation. So I still feel I am separated from God. And from Bhagavad Gita also I understand you will get united to God when you do yoga, yoga sannyasi. uh, So
Karma.
I feel still I'm separated, Vijayji.
Okay, all right. So, so in a way, what you are saying is, please correct if this is not what you meant. Whenever there is right things happening, it is influenced by God, is what you are saying, because God does only right things. So
Yeah.
when you are speaking calmly, when you are speaking very consciously, it is God. When you are not speaking consciously, when you are in anger, when the emotions overpower you, you feel you are not God. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, the summary is that only, Vijayji. Yeah.
Okay. So in that way of expressing, then God has influenced your actions and thoughts, your thoughts and actions.
Mm, um, I don't know. If God has influenced, why not God influence every time the thoughts? So I myself, I do not know the answer.
Okay. So that's the reason for raising that question. So whoever this God is, he seems to be able to influence you only in certain time frames. In certain other time frames, he seems to be absent.
Yeah.
So when he is absent, who is doing? Shilpa is doing.
Yeah.
But when right things are being said, then who is doing? According to Shilpa, it is God who is doing.
Yes.
So in a way, you're the opposite of that thief in that story. There is a story you may know. A thief was brought in front of a judge, and the thief said, "I've learned Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, I am not the doer, so I didn't do this stealing." But the judge shows, look, there's a video showing that you went and you opened, but I am not the doer. Um, that's what Bhagavad Gita says. Then the judge also says, yeah, I have also learned Bhagavad Gita. I am not going to punish you, but it is your hands that opened, it's your legs that moved, it is your later, you whatever you stole, it is you. I was, I can see in the video you are the one who's wearing it on your neck. So I'm going to punish your hands, your legs, your neck, put all of them into jail for next months, right? So that's what the judge also said.
Hmm.
So, in that story, to escape from something that what society calls as bad, that fellow used Bhagavad Gita. But here you're using it in the other way. Whenever good is happening, you're attributing it to presence of God. Whenever something negative is happening, you're attributing it to yourself.
Yes.
Good, in a way, good. But there seems to be okay, so then who is really enacting? How come this God fellow is omnipresent, omniscient, present, supposed to be present all the time, all the places? Then how come he becomes absent sometimes? Then, if he is becoming absent, then can we truly call him as God?
Actually, it's a very good question, Vijayji. Even I have the same question. I think we kind of discussed in the first question also, omnipresent. Why can't our gunas? But somehow I'm still not very clear
Not
on
very
that.
clear. That's okay, Ji. That's okay. That's the reason of contemplation, is to approach this from multiple viewpoints, so that uh, see, it's the end of the day, clarity has to emerge by unlocking or unentangling. So that's okay. So let us see what others have to say. Who would like to take up next? Who's enacting? Krishna ji, what is your viewpoint, ji?
Yeah. So I, according to my understanding, any action is based on the impressions the body and the mind has. So it depends. It depends. For example, facing particular situation, one may be fear to God, but other person may not be fear to God. So it depends on the memory one carries, the karma. So enacting is it's for this body. My understanding is uh, the consciousness is showing us the light, and this based on the gunas and the impressions in the body, the body yeah, the body decides what to do based on the situation.
Are you then
So
saying that the one who's speaking right now is your body? Your body is deciding what word to choose, in what order to put.
yeah, it's based on my memory bank, right? So I have learned English, and there is a thought process happening in the body, and so decision is made first. So what should I utter my word through my word? The decision is happening based on my guna.
Who's
But
deciding?
so the decision is based on the guna, I'm saying. So right now I am the one who decided to speak, but speaking itself is happening through a consciousness. But the output differs from me to one body to another body. But the source of power, or the fuel or the light, is the same across the body. And depending on the environment we grew up and the memory this body carries, so actions and the reactions uh, are there. So that is how I'm seeing. So consciously, but based on these three gunas, so through this teaching, spirituality and Bhagavad Gita, so we have to one has to clearly recognize which is coming out of guna and what is dharma, and how one should act in a dharmic way and do a karma yoga. Through that, like, every gunas can be, the ignorance can be removed. So enacting is based on the gunas and the one's impressions, but the source is same across everyone. That's how I'm seeing this. Vijay.
So when you use the word the source is the same,
Mm.
uh, in what way source is involved in the enacting?
So source is the
By
one which
source, I mean,
gives power. I
I'm
mean, like,
assuming you mean what is being referred here as God. Is that the case?
yeah, yeah, God or consciousness.
Hmm.
Uh, I would say, like, so as an example, the same electricity is given to our laptops and mobile, and also to the bulb. So each one of us has the same source of power or consciousness, but the way it is uh, act, way it is acting or shown is different. So yeah, that's how I have interpreted it, and my understanding is also in that way.
So the light or the source or the consciousness is involved or not involved, according to you?
It is there, but the actions are. It is a source of power, right? So based on one's impression, I can decide. So that's what I meant to say. Like, if I face particular situation, in example, God or a particular pet, uh, I may like, dog to pet and be a pet inside my home and roam around inside my home. But whereas the same person, like even my brother or sister, they are not very. As an example, I'm giving, they are not very feeling comfortable with the same thing. So it depends. It depends on the one's karma and the gunas based on the karma. So it is not the God who is deciding the actions, but God is fueling the power. It's a source of power, and it's our impressions which decides. And because of the ignorance, like, I the consciousness, right? I'm not the consciousness. I'm being attached to this body because my body at particular age of time I like few food, but whereas now I'm not liking it. So body and my body and my voice also, in fact, when I was in school, it was very sad. But sooner after I finished college, my become like a male based kind of voice. So it is keep on changing, and the perspective I saw at school time at when I was a kid, the food I like, the person I like, and the now same person, same food, but slight change, different place might be, or even the same place, but the way I feel is completely different. So this proves me that this is all like something changing, and also I unlearned the same situation I would have faced. Like example, I travel in Bangalore in the traffic, right? So that's a very nearest example I can give. Like I was very frustrated, and why this? I always would sweat and go in anxiety, like while traveling. Like I mean, what will happen? Will I go easy, faster? And those kind of things. But whereas now I still travel, but I don't have those anxiety now, right? And the rush is not there. So it is like I'm unlearning the meanings the vasanas have this body. But these all are happening through the light, right? As a power source of creation, it's happening. But it's my gunas which is driving my actions. So that's how I understood this sloka also.
Gunas are driving the action. Okay. So right now you did not influence any of the words that are appearing. You did not decide what to say, what not to say,
Huh,
which
I
direction
do
you should say.
I do decide it. Uh, that's why, because I mean there may be many words across in English, but I know I've learned, I've seen, I've uttered it before. That's the reason I'm reusing it. I'm not using the words which is already which is not I mean which is not into my knowledge, or which I've not seen. But I still see if people somewhere they're uttering in the news channel, or when in some conference they speak, they might use some different words. Then I would go ahead and see it. So that's where I gathering new experiences. Then it is like I know this. It's based on my memory only. So based on my memory, and after learning Bhagavad Gita and into also in the spirituality, so how to be in this life, who we are, right? So then the decision making is different, completely different prior to this knowledge and after this knowledge. So still I'm doing karma yoga and practicing to do it always.
So in
That's
one sentence, if you have to, or in one possible word, if you have to say who's enacting, who's enacting?
uh, enacting. It's a consciousness, but consciousness is a source. It's like electricity, but it's my gunas, body mind which is acting uh, through that, like
So consciousness as the light, the gunas are acting, is what you are saying.
uh,
So there is no personal person who's enacting. There is no person who's enacting. Is that what you are saying?
uh, but I mean gunas are like, again, just so,
So if I
so,
if I
so the
say
guna,
if I say um, uh, sorry, I'm just trying to illustrate. That's why I'm using this way. If I say, "What a stupid answer, Krishna sir," you will not get hurt.
I mean, I would have got that, but now even if you say me that, like I would go and rethink, like, okay, what exactly is trying to tell me, and what exactly the situation is teaching me, like, what is that I have to rethink. So that's the way of the pattern of thinking has changed after the spirituality. When if somebody, so even in the workplace or even in this, so that many a times the expected things are not happening, and many times it's happening the way 50-50. I don't want to put a specific number, but it's both, right? So the way I feel, it's different, I'm saying. So through this knowledge, so it is like basically I'm unlearning, and I'm seeing everything as divine, and every action is based out of my karma. So I because the thoughts are arising. Because as I told in when I was a childhood, I did not have the specific similar thought, or even I didn't enjoy the specific moment. But whereas now I am enjoying this, uh, and same like vice versa. The things which I feel happy or feel unhappy, right? It's completely different when I was in childhood. So it is the gunas and the impressions I have. It's like coming out one by one, and then based on that I am acting. But now I am acting mostly. I would not say 100% because sometimes I'm also like it's like instinct reaction, not a response. It happened. So but I would come back within a minute or something. Okay, wait. It's like Gunas. Sometimes I get still even now I get angry mood, right? It spikes up and then like wait. So there is another voice saying wait. So yeah, so enacting is by me only, but through a consciousness. But consciousness is not deciding every action, but it is a source of the action, I would say. But decision is done based on my gunas.
You used a particular sentence now. Enacting is by me through consciousness.
Mm.
So in this particular sentence, who are you in relationship to consciousness?
Here, yeah, maybe I put it in different way. Yeah. So we are the consciousness, but we have wrongly identified with this body mind. So so body. So yeah. So it's a conscious. We are the true consciousness, but we have identified with this happiness, unhappiness, and which is creating a lot of, I mean, problem, but which is not actually the one. Our true nature is the bliss.
So ultimately, no one is enacting. Or
There is an
someone is enacting.
there is an action. There is an
There's
action.
an
That is
action
for sure.
happening for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
But who is not? You
I
cannot blame it
am
on somebody. Or can we blame
not
it on somebody?
to one. Yeah. So it is the ignorance which is driving all the actions, I would say. But uh,
How can you call me ignorant? I am not at all ignorant.
that the ignorant doesn't mean like in the modern or in the materialistic world, I mean, I see many times logical, but sometimes there are things are happening which is illogical to my mind, but it is good for everyone. So, so it is my impressions which I have. So I say ignorant, but ignorance is something. Uh, Fundamentally, we have to look at who we are. So that's the part I'm calling it ignorant, not the actions or the situations, the people we meet, and decisions we make. It doesn't depend on that, but it's very at the root level, like who you are, and that's the ignorance I'm referring.
Very nice. Very nice. So in similar single sentence, according to you, God is?
It's the consciousness, which is which is the omnipresent. So maybe you can call God or consciousness. I'm referring it as same.
And Shilpaji described it as someone who influences you to do good things.
Hmm.
And in that way of looking at it, when bad things are happening, he seemed to be absent.
Hmm.
What is your viewpoint to that way of describing God?
No, so any action I told you, so the result can be good. I mean, any result is not good or bad. It depends on your vasanas, how you feel about particular situation. It's like that. So it is our vasanas and the impressions are vasanas. It decides which is good or bad. But uh, by nature, there is nothing like good or bad. Everything is divine. That's how I would say.
According to you, God is never absent.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's in
Wonderful.
the mind. And, yeah.
It's in the mind.
What is the definition of vasanas? Is it the karma we carry from our past deeds?
Yeah, that's what I'm referring the same as was the
So,
impressions or the karma. Yeah.
okay, because you said that, one more question I'm just thinking. I mean, I just want to clarify. Sorry, Vijayji, if I can ask that.
No, please. The whole idea is to create these conversations. So please go ahead and ask and let Krishnaji give his viewpoint.
Yeah. So when I'm constantly hearing vasanas, karma, that decides your actions. That memory footprints brings your next deeds of actions. So. So should we always consider Bhagavad Gita for those who have come with some memories? Is it not meant for those who have come with clean slate? Clean slate. They do not have anything. But what we should do?
Okay. So I would say my understanding, but still I would want Vijay to I mean inter interfere if I mean it's going in a wrong understanding. My understanding is like again this question itself is like it's in our mind. So I may see someone as having is not having all the uh, bad karmas he's always doing, but by birth itself I would feel there is an impression which is here and there is a reason why we come in to this world, and that's the reason everybody is operating. So I may see I don't know whether it's the right one. I may see a, but just for lack of better words or example which is coming to me mind right now, I may see cow as a divine mother. We do puja in South India especially, and we praise it and we keep it names, we call, and even the cow respond. But whereas to same people in the same world in this, even considering Bangalore, I'm in Bangalore, so Bangalore or any place, there are people which consider as a food. So I cannot say they are doing bad karma, but it is their karma to eat it. But there is a ultimate consciousness which decides, right? We have to be this way and that way. So it depends on that. Good or bad, it based on their karma, but there is a ultimate one truth about consciousness. We have to be dharmic way and do always karma yoga. That's the whole purpose of any life, I would say. I don't know whether I answered it directly or, but this is how I wanted to put in. Yeah.
Thank you, Krishnaji.
So, Shilpaji, when you say someone comes with a clean slate, can you explain what you mean by that?
Um, what I mean by that is, let's say I'm born, and I do not have any previous janma, previous karmas. It's like I'm I'm getting born for the first time. So how, I mean, is that first of all possible? I think now I'm introspecting myself based on Krishnaji's input. So the very purpose of getting born itself is based on the karma, is what I'm understanding. So if that is the case, is there a possibility of getting uh, uh, like cell creation, right? Uh, can that happen without having any memory? I mean, doesn't it even happen? Should we always consider it as a lineage from somewhere and then we are here? I don't know. I'm just, that was the thought which got to my mind, Vijayji.
So, when were you born, Shilpaji?
I was born in 1982, but before that, or even from that, memories I have been keeping it somewhere, it is lying. But even when I was born, was I born? Were I born based on my previous janma, or I don't know? How should I even understand that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, where were you before you were born? Because you seem to know that you were born. Then where were you before you were born?
Um, I don't know whether I was there before I was born or whether I was in some form. Uh, I don't know, Vijayji. I don't have answer to that question.
Okay. So that's the fundamental clarity that one needs to develop. So let's examine that sentence. I am born. What gives you the feeling that you are born?
Um, Physical, definitely first physical existence, and prana, uh,
Did you
and
know at the time of the birth that you were born? Did you feel, oh, I am born?
sorry, what was the question?
At the time of the birth,
Huh.
did you know or did you feel, oh, I am born?
It's a very good question. That point of time, maybe I didn't feel. Slowly, I started feeling uh, when I was mature enough to think about the dates, time, and all. But that point of time, I think I might not be knowing that.
Might not be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, let's examine one more thing, which is notice little children. You would have probably noticed it, especially initially. Some of the little children, let's say somebody is named Chetana. Okay, so that little child may come and say, Chetana is feeling hungry. Can you give me? Can you give Chetana food? The little child speaks about itself as if it's a third person. Have you noticed that tendency in some children?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have seen that.
They don't say, I am hungry, give me food. They say, Chetana is hungry, give food.
Yeah.
Or, when especially little children, when they're asked, are you a boy or a girl? Especially you need to notice that, initially when the child is getting introduced to all these ideas, the child has no concept whether the child is boy or a girl. What do you think is happening there?
Um, it is uh, I mean, because it is a child. Um, it is because of the awareness that person doesn't know whether that person is a boy or a girl.
No, no, no. The question is the child is being introduced. The child is being asked, are you a boy or a girl? Let's say
Yeah.
very first time, that very, small baby. Somebody
Hmm.
says, are you a boy or a girl? What do you think the child feels?
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't know.
Doesn't know.
Yeah.
Means what?
Because that person doesn't have the knowledge to differentiate between girl and a boy.
Correct. What is a boy? What is a girl? Nothing but certain body structure.
Yeah.
Okay. However, the question is the child present even when that question is being asked? Are you a boy or a girl? Is the child present?
Yes, child is present.
Or in other words, when now put yourself as that child, are you present if I ask you, even when such a question is being asked? Are you present or
Uh,
not?
yes, of course, I'm
You're,
present.
you're, you're present, correct?
Yes.
However, there is no knowledge of something. Therefore, if that question comes, for example, right now, I'll ask you another question. Have you gone to Klichapita too?
Mm. It's a movie, is it?
So right now, you're not sure what
Yeah.
is Klichapita too. What is it? You're not sure whether it's a movie, is it a place, or is it some experience? You're not sure.
Yeah.
Right now, there is no knowledge about this Klichapita too.
Yeah.
Therefore, now, if I say, have you gone to Klishapita too? You have no feeling that is getting generated. How to feel about it is not clear. Or, now if I say, you are a Klichapitatu, if I say something like that, what do you think I may be meaning?
Yeah, I mean, don't know.
Don't know, right? It could be the most wonderful praise, or it could be most insulting word, but
Yeah.
you have no notion. But at this point of time, when I'm using all this, when these sounds are coming to you, you are present. That's the only reason why you are even able to listen to this Klichapitatu. Otherwise, there is no one to listen to, correct?
Yep.
Now, if I give you a meaning, Shilpaji, Klichapitatu means you are the mountain of intelligence. You are the very embodiment of intelligence. If I say something like that, then how you may feel now?
Now I know the meaning of it, then I can relate.
You're relating. And if I say you're a Klichapitatu, how do you feel?
Because it is a positive thing, definitely I feel happy.
Okay. Now, the session gets over. Now, let's say you happen to be talking to Rajita ji. Rajita ji says, you don't know that fellow Vijay. Klichapita to Shilpa ji actually means mountain of idiot. Is that what he said? Klichapita to? Ayyo. Now, how you may feel?
I mean, I feel okay why he said that. Even in first case also I feel why he said that. Here also I feel why he said that. And I try to introspect actually.
Fair.
Because
However,
I feel you are a,
there's
sorry.
a sense of, how can such a negative word be used? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let us look at this situation, Ji. The first situation is I use Klichapita too, and what you said?
I said I feel happy.
No, you said I don't know. First,
Yeah. I don't know.
then I made Klichapita too as mountain of intelligence. Then I asked you how you feel. You said?
Yeah, happy.
Then I made Klichapita too as mountain of ignorance. And then how you feel?
I felt clueless. Yeah.
Not so happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 situations, same word. Klichapitatu, Klichapitatu, Klichapitatu. Now in these 3, what is changing, Ji?
The description of that Klichapitatu is changing, or the understanding, the meaning behind that is changing.
Is changing. The sound itself is not changing.
Yes.
But your association to that is changing.
Yes.
The way you associate to Klichapitatu, no association to, oh, it's a positive word association, to, oh, it's a negative word association. So likewise, in life, you and I or any other person learns what is to be born. There is no concept of birth, but it is given as a meaning. And that has been accepted. What is birth? What is death? What is living? What is girl? What is boy? Who is good man? Who is bad woman? Who is a good daughter-in-law? Who is a bad daughter-in-law? Who is a good mother? Who is a bad mother? All of it is likewise various sounds or various various sensations that come through the world that getting associated to you in your mind, getting stored as impressions in your memory bank called chitta. You till today in your dictionary, Klichapitatu wasn't there. Today, through this conversation, I introduced a new sound called Klichapita 2. And first I made you write it as I don't know. Then I made you write it as a positive word. Then I made you write it as negative word. Now, is Klichapita 2 itself positive or negative? If I ask you that question, now you are able to recognize, oh, it's neither. It is the way I associate to that. Likewise, all the stories of life, whatever you and I speak, is a story of life. And how do you say the story of life? Depends upon your association to those sounds and those visuals or those whatever sensations that came, how you have associated to them. Through that you narrate. It's a very positive event that happened. Oh, it's a very negative event that happened. As an example, sometime back you used the situation of your life where your daughter had pneumonia. So in one sense, you can narrate it as, what a ugly event, how scared I was. You can speak like that. Or you spoke the way you spoke, which is, oh, I learned what is the root cause of that. And from there, I modified to a habit of life, which now is so liberating. So you use the same situation and converted that into a empowerment for your life. One can use the same situation and then get depressed. So like that, it is you who is writing the script of your life by how you are associating. Who is that you who is doing all this? It cannot be your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your hands, and your legs. Because that, as you know clearly, is constantly changing. Though you feel whole, you feel, oh, I am this whole body and mind and everything. But in a way, when you examine very critically, you cannot be your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your hands, and your legs, and so on and so forth, because they're constantly morphing. When you were little, it was like this, now it is like this. All that is constantly changing. So that cannot be you. So then who is the one who is associating to all this? Though it is changing, who is the one who is saying, I was there even when Klichapita 2 was used. When you said, I don't know, even when you said, I don't know, you are there. That's how you could say, I don't know. Even when I gave the meaning of Klichapita 2 as positive, you are there. Even when I made it negative, you are there. So there is someone who is there through all these three. I don't know to I know it as positive, to I know it as negative, to now who is also interpreting it as, oh, it is neither positive nor negative. All the four states, don't know to positive to negative to it is neither positive nor negative. It is me who is making up this positive or negative. Like that, there are four different states through which you yourself are progressing. The important question is, who is that who is progressing through these four? Who is the one who is seeing all the four? That you who seem to be able to notice all this. Oh, I was a little child. I used to like candies. Now I don't like candies. So there was a liking to candy. There's a no, it is okay now. I don't like candies. So there is someone who is there through this entire arc of experience. This entire arc of experience. Someone who doesn't seem to have gone away. Your hands and legs are your mouth that ate that candy when you were a 5-year-old has gone away. That hand and leg and mouth has now become different. But you, who was there in that experience, is the same who is here in this experience also. So through this entire arc of experience, you are not changing. The only clarity you need to bring is, who is that who is not changing? When in our day-to-day conversation, you and I use I ate, I said, I did. Generally, the connection is to this entire body-mind complex. But the body-mind complex, as you can clearly notice, is changing. So the body-mind complex cannot be the one, which is you. So if I'm not the body-mind complex, who am I truly? Who am I truly? Who's going through this arc of experience? Who is that who said, I don't know, to it is positive, to negative, to no positive or negative? Who is that? That is the fundamental identification that one needs to make. That I, who is present through this whole series of changes, is actually the divine light of the self, the awareness, the consciousness. And because it is not getting modified, that is who we call as God. When we use the word God, we use it in many connotations. God is not only positive or negative. God, in this way of looking at it, when you lit, I don't know, you simply lit, I don't know. Where was I don't know? In your mind. Klichapita too, I don't know, was in your mind. And you, the light of the self, the divine light of the awareness, you simply were shining that light. And in the mind, because you dipped into you, who's you, as a whatever the concept, some thought called Shilpa, you dipped into your dictionary called, do I know it? Oh, I don't know it. So that answer came, and the intellect gave that answer. But you, the awareness, because of your presence, that entire, whoever you think, that thought and that intellect and that memory, all of them worked together to come up with the answer that was sounded through the mouth. I don't know. Though who is that I was not clarified, but you said, I don't know. Who is that I? Fundamentally, that I in that sentence is you, the divine light of the self. So the divine light of the self simply lit the mind. And whatever was the answer, it simply made that answer come. Whereas for me, the answer is, I know. I'm simply making up this story to make a point. So the same divine light of the self in this mind did not have a notion of I don't know when the Klishapita 2 was being used. However, later in your mind, Klishapita 2 was given a positive connotation. Again, the light of the self simply lit that, and it became a knowledge. Oh, it's a positive word, mountain of intelligence. Klishapita 2 is a mountain of intelligence. And it got registered. That also was lit by the same light of the self, you. And when it became negative, same light of the self. And later, no positive or negative is also lit. So like that, association to life, interpretation of life is based on the knowledge that is available in that mind. But you, the light of the awareness, the consciousness, you are not changing through these arcs. You are who you are. You are that simply that light that is shining. But you are getting associated with, oh, I don't know. Oh, I know it's a positive. Oh, I know it is negative. Oh, it is neither positive nor negative. You are simply getting connected to all these as you. And there is also another fundamental knowledge that is not examined properly, who you are. So therefore, the I in that storytelling becomes I, this fellow. I was born. I had disease. So like that, the I takes a shape that is not actually there, but seems to be there. Whoever that I you take the shape of momentarily seems to be there. So that's why Sri Krishna says early on itself in the shloka, Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. All that is happening because of the Prakriti. Prakriti means the three gunas. Ahankara vimuda atma kartaham iti manyate. Ahankara, aham akara, vimuda, ignorance, atma, the consciousness mixed up with the you know who I am, ahankara vimuda, because of the ignorance in the mind. Because of the ignorance in the mind, the pure consciousness get mixed up. The projection happens. Oh, I am this. Ahankara vimuda atma. Kartaham iti manyate. I am the doer. Iti manyate is what is superimposed. So, in essence, who is enacting? Prakriti. But in essence, who's enacting? There is no enaction happening in the ultimate analysis. It seems to have happened, but not really happened. Much like how is a movie happening, seems to be happening, but there is no happening. It is simply light falling at different pixels, and together someone is interpreting that something is happening. But fundamentally, light simply is. Light simply is. If you notice at a pixel level, light simply is at every pixel. There is no change happening to light. It is only by looking at a collection of light and making it a boundary that somebody says, this patra is now killing this patra, and now this is running away. All that is simply a interpretation, simply a storytelling. Why? Because the nature of light is not examined. Therefore, the observer is caught in the what is happening on the screen by looking at the boundaries of the patras, not really noticing that light simply is, whether it is coming from that source or on the screen at the pixel level. Light simply is. It simply is. There is no change happening. Is this all bringing clarity, Shilpaji?
Yeah, Vijayji, I can't say 100% because I have to reflect, um, because it is very heavy for me to um, digest, understand, assimilate. Probably I need time. But the examples, the way how you narrated everything, you really made it simple. But that simple thing, for me to get into my um, inner understanding definitely takes time.
All right. So, what part of it felt heavy?
um, I'm just relating to that consciousness or the light which is constant. uh, so does it mean what I was thinking when you were saying that is, so does it mean um, like rebirth or whatever, from one form to another form? So should I interpret that everything was there, but lot of memories got added, modified, altered, everything, and now we are in a different state? But ultimately, if we are doing that, why there are lot of damages happening? So the karma, bad karma gets added,
That's a
added,
separate
added.
question. There are two questions that usually get mixed up. First of all, recognition that there's a change happening.
Mhm.
Then there's an interpretation of whether it's a positive or a negative change. Two separate things. Klichapitatu is simply a word. What was the first interpretation? I don't know. So a situation simply happened. A situation simply happened. So there is no interpretation, good or bad. As a simple example, little child pees or poops and puts its hand in that pee or poop and is simply putting it into the mouth. For the little child, it is neither good nor bad at that stage. It doesn't know. However, somebody around it may come and say, Ayayo, why you are doing this? Ishi, chi, 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 chi. Now, what can go into the mind of the child? Oh, this, whatever that I did now, is not nice, not correct, not good. That interpretation goes into the mind. So the situation, klichapita too, is like a situation, a word, a situation. A situation is neither good nor bad. Initially, there is, I don't know. Then an interpretation that, oh, it is good or bad, because that is what people are saying. Then ultimately, you have to realize that it is you who is associating to the situation in, oh, I don't know, to I know, oh, I know it is good, oh, I know it is bad, to it is neither good nor bad. So that series of changes are happening. First of all, is that noticeable?
Yeah, that is noticeable. But
It is
I have
noticeable.
a follow-up question, but I'll ask in the next session,
Sure.
Guruji.
You have to stop now, is it?
No. I need not stop, but I'm all of you are waiting.
No. It is for each one of us. So please don't worry. So what is the follow-up question?
Um, so when we are saying the consciousness, good or bad, so ultimately, I mean, it is a perception or it is the memory we are accumulating to say that it is good or bad. But if my mother says, I'm a vegetarian, but if my mother says, uh, go and kill cow, like Krishna ji said, so you eat cow. So I start eating. So that point of time, I am not aware, like the poop example you gave, I ate. So is it that I mean, how the transformation happens, like because you gave the examples from neutral to positive, positive to negative, but how that uh, different awareness states happen to everybody, um, if at all that is not coming from our surroundings, how does it happen?
It is coming
That
from the surroundings only. No, see, a child born in a non-vegetarian family first starts eating potentially whatever the family eats as food. There is no association. There is no negative or positive. However, if you in front of any human being, if killing is enacted, if they see the killing, then there is a something innate that doesn't like such thing that will come up. So because nobody butchers the animal in front of that little child, so therefore the child doesn't know. It is simply food. Okay. Why? Because the rest of the family is eating. That is how habits are cultivated, isn't it? So, what is good depends upon the samskara that is developed through the surroundings. What is bad? Again, through the samskaras. What is being discussed here? That what is happening in and around you is neither good nor bad. It is all in how you, who are you? You are that pure consciousness, pure awareness, how you are relating to that through the knowledge you have in your mind. When there was no awareness of how that food is coming to the table, the same child might have thought it as nice, so tasty. However, later when the child realized how that food is being produced, somewhere deep within that child, this is not the right food. Or maybe because of clear understanding of what this body is supposed to consume, either of that, either through a some of the people I know have given up eating meat when they saw how that animal is butchered. They cannot take the cry and the shout of that animal, and that feeling is very disturbing of an animal being killed, because no animal wants to get killed. So especially when they take away the child from the mother animal, the way the mother animal is shouting, when such scenes are seen, many people I know, though they are in non-vegetarian families, they say somehow I cannot take that. So they've given up meat. Some people have come to that clarity. Some people I know who are from so-called pure vegetarian families have gone into meat eating, and later through various kinds of sessions, they come to the clarity that, oh, this body is not meant for meat eating. This body runs well with vegetarian food. So like that, some people have given up and come. So, what is the arc of the journey? That's a separate question. But there is a some kind of an ignorance about what is the right food, and that ignorance got removed through different experiences of life, and now there is some kind of a clarity, like how you came to the clarity that, oh, it is all these wheat, rice, which are highly polished, which are causing this various kinds of troubles to the human body. And when I shifted to millets, it doesn't seem to be there. So you've come to that through the arc of experience. So, like that, everything that you talk about life is through your own experience of life. When there's an experience of life, you interpret it in one way. And when that experience is questioned, examined, you may be able to reflect on it in different light, like how we just now saw through a simple illustration. Klichapita 2 was neutral, became positive, I made it negative, then again I put the question, is it truly positive or negative? That hopefully made you reflect, oh, that Klichapita 2 itself is neither negative or positive. It is how I am interpreting it in my mind. So like that, there is an arc. Situations, the way you interpret situations is an arc. And how that arc happens, that is what we call as the experience of life. That is your karma actually. The way you store, the way you interpret a situation is what is karma. That is vasana. So the moment a meat eater sees the meat, their mouth may salivate. Why? Because the vasana, meaning what? Having eaten it, stored, oh, it is food. Whereas for a vegetarian, that same meat, yo, what a smell! How can people eat? May come in the mind of a vegetarian person. Why? Again, vasana. Both are vasanas. In one, there is a I want to consume it as a food vasana. In another, I don't want to consume it as a food. It is not food. It is something that is not food at all. That is also vasana. So, whenever the interpretation of life is through the vasana, that is what is called as karma bandhana. Karma bandhana means that through the interpretation of the memory, I through the memory, I interpret life. I enact life. I live life. I label somebody as you are very bad. You eat meat. You are very bad. I label somebody, oh, you are a vegetarian. You are very good. So that is my karma bandhana. I am labeling. I'm associating. So the not labeling, realizing that it is the impression that is making this mind interpret this way, realizing that it is neither positive nor negative. Klichapita 2 is neither positive nor negative. Klichapita 2 is the way I interpret, I can change the meaning. So who is I who is interpreting? The I who is the one who is the light. I am that light. Realizing that gives me freedom to interpret this in the way that is most conducive in a given environment. So that is the change that needs to be brought here. Is this clarifying, Shilpaji?
It is very much clarifying, Vijayji.
So thinking that I am bound by karma is my ignorance. Thinking that I am, so what is giving me the feeling that I am born and I'm going to die is the impressions that are stored. Why? Because I think I am one of these perishable items, like this body. Body is perishable, like this mind, where the thoughts are continuously getting created and perished. I think I am one of those perishable items. Therefore, I have a feeling, deep rooted feeling that I am also going to die and I'm going to also take birth. So, thinking that I am nothing but whatever I'm enacting is my karma bandhana. Liberation is realizing that I am not perishable. And the perishable is something that is happening, or I'm able to see. I'm able to see this arc. I am the seer of all this. I'm the seer of the inaction. I am the watcher of this inaction. I'm the sakshi of this entire drama. Neither am I born, nor am I going to die. Because birth and death is itself a fundamental impression. It's a way of thinking about life, fundamentally. In a fundamental way, yesterday's Shilpa is no more there. The Shilpa who came to this session at 6 o'clock is no more there. In what way? In terms of the body, in terms of the mind. That Shilpa who came to this satsang is long gone away. So thinking that I am that which is going away, continuously going away, or in another way, continuously getting created, thinking that I am that is the fundamental bondage. So let's pause here. Anything else anybody wants to bring up or say? Anisha ji, you want to say something?
Yeah, just an example popped up in my mind.
Yeah.
We all have seen that movie Three Idiots, right? In which
Sorry,
the three
your
friends.
voice is not very clear to me. What did you say? All?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah. Can you say again, please?
Yeah. So in the movie Three Idiots, where we have the three friends, right? So can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, I am able to hear you.
Okay, so one of the three friends, he comes and writes on the board some word, and he tells all the others in the class to find the meaning to the word written on the board. Then everyone, without thinking, is there an existence of such kind of word? They just keep searching in the dictionary. So they
Correct.
are restless. Uh, yeah. So that like in them there is a kind of like I have to find. I must be the first one to find the word. If not, I look like a foolish person. So it's the so what happens is. It's the prakriti that is making them think like that. Uh, eh,
Correct.
Yeah, so
So Prakriti is nothing but the nature of the thoughts that have been stored. In the nature of the thoughts that has been
impress.
stored, if let's say somebody has always fed into you, you should always come first. Come what may in the class, you should always come first. Then the Prakriti will force you to do things fast. You want to compete. I have to be the first one to give answer. So see, that is Prakriti. Prakriti means what? The way the nature of the thoughts have been stored. I have to win. A very Rajasic Prakriti. Or there may be a very tamasic Prakriti. What is there in all these questions and answers? It's okay. Go to college to enjoy. Simply be there. Then such a person may not even open the book. Let others give an answer. I will simply know that. So a sattvic Prakriti may be okay. So what is it being said? How this can be? So like that, different natures or the different gunas of the mind may propel you to act in different ways in the same situation. Excellent example, Anisha ji.
Thank you.
So that is Prakriti. The way the impressions are stored, and with that fundamental ignorance of who I am, the way you associate to these impressions, that I am nothing but the way my impressions are working, is how the Prakriti's game continues. And being free from Prakriti means this only. Being free from the thinking that I am bound by my thoughts, that I am nothing but whatever that is my karma, that I am a product of my karma. Liberation from that thinking is a true liberation. All right. Shall we conclude here for today? Is there anyone who wants to say anything more? All right. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.